let's head to Chicago.
Well, hello there from my hometown airport of Pitt, where this early snowy December morning I'll be flying aboard United Airlines, specifically Republic Airways on one of their E170s over to the Windy City in economy. After receiving almost a foot of snow in western PA a few days ago and more coming down today, it'll be an interesting travel day for sure. United isn't extremely large here at Pitt, but they do have flights to all their hubs around the US, minus LA, as well as some other vacation destinations, so they're not that small. I will only be flying them over to O'Hare today before connecting on another airline down to Florida. So as usual, I already checked in back at home and just stopping by here to check the seat map and print out a paper boarding pass, as I won't be checking anything in. That, my curious past self, would be a very cool washing station situated just after the security checkpoint here, sort of like the ones you can find on some newer cruise ships. Okay, and here I am again. One last trip for 2020. Now, before you go off on me, I'm plenty aware there's a whole slew of Florida flights from this airport that go non-stop. The only reason I'm going out of my way first to Chicago is I needed to fly American once more to grab status for 2021, and instead of flying some dinky regional jets from here, O'Hare had some much better products at cheaper prices down to South Florida. Plus, it's just before Christmas. I'm off, and I like flying.
Jingle them bells and frolic. Oh, by gosh, some stolly. Eggnog, gin and tonic make Yuletide gay and jolly.
I've been flying out of Pittsburgh my entire life, and this honestly is the worst weather I've flown out of in. It's certainly very pretty out there and kinda a bit cool, but it'll be even better if we can get out of here on time, as my connection at O'Hare isn't that long. United operates out of Concourse A here, which is shared also with Southwest, Air Canada, and Boutique Air. This airside terminal also has concourses B, C, and D, which when put all together creates an X. That E170 I'm currently shooting will not be our aircraft today, rather this one, N647RW, which is a nearly 16-year-old E-Jet that originally flew for Chautauqua Airlines, and then Shuttle America, and now Republic since May of 2016. I've always had a soft spot for Republic Airways as they have a base at Pitt, and I've had nothing but excellent experiences on them, especially with their crews, so I'm hoping this flight will remain that way. After flying out of here, it looks like it'll clear up out west, but man is it coming down hard here in the Steel City. That United A320 leaving though is a good sign, and I got reassigned a seat to myself, so looks like another smooth Republic experience. Oh come on man, are you f***ing serious right now? Are you piece of Are you...
Yeah, so we just got delayed a little bit here due to heavy snow. They originally started boarding people, like first class and stuff, but then they made everybody get off, so now we're just sitting here.
30 minutes would not affect me that much in Chicago, plus it looks like the edge of the heavy snow is veering off to the east soon, so it's not that big a deal. And sure enough, around 25 minutes later, the gate agents started back up the boarding process. This time for good. So let's board.
Hello. All right.
Even with the plane holding under 20 passengers, they still boarded by groups, which I had group 3 of 5 today. This United Express E170 is equipped with 70 seats in total, 6 of those being first class up front here, arranged 2-1 across, followed by 16 economy plus seats, and behind 48 economy seats. This cabin thankfully has the older United regional jet seats that, as you can see, look and feel much more comfortable than their newer slimline product.
Thanks.
For making videos, I forgot my birthday.
Well, I'm gonna sit right here, so.
Very consistent on Republic is the fact they always hand out sanitizing wipes upon boarding, no matter the airline. The cabin itself is incredibly spacious for a smaller jet like this. That typical tight feel of a regional aircraft known from the ERJ-145 and the CRJs is just not there. Overhead bins are still small, but I could at least fit my carry-on up top easily. The only real negative of these E170, 75s, and 90s is the window alignment, which 95% of the time is always off, and no exception with my seat today. They are very large though. While the headrests on the seats don't adjust to your head, they are well padded, as is the rest of the seat, which is an awesome change from the slim, hard seats I've gotten used to. I'm fairly tall at 6 foot, but legroom is not bad on here. In front on the seat back is the safety card found inside a very roomy pocket, and no, there's no PTVs up top.
These items may not be stowed in seat back pockets. Flight deck doors located in front and center of the aircraft.
Oh, unfortunately, that guy that just passed just made things even worse. Well, I'll try to be brief, but the simple point is that flight attendant was an asshole. He saw me filming that clip there, immediately stopped and told me to delete that footage. Said, "Sorry, you're not allowed to film on airplanes." You know, the usual shtick. Obviously, I know the rules. You are allowed to film on airplanes, especially now on United Airlines, which has probably the most relaxed rules out of all the US airlines when it comes to photography. You literally can film passengers without their consent. You can film literally anything, crew, as long as you aren't like posing a safety risk. But apparently this guy thought that it was illegal, and he brought the other flight attendant involved, and she kind of was like just trying to go along with it, but you can tell she didn't agree with him. Unfortunately, I don't have the argument on video, as I kind of just stopped the footage and I didn't click the button again. But in general, I kind of was arguing with this guy for about 5 minutes. He threatened to kick me off the flight if I didn't delete it, and I was explaining to him how I know your policy. I won't film you, as I don't like filming flight attendants because I like to respect their privacy. And he wasn't having it. He just thought, oh, you can't film the cabin. So I almost deleted it, but I stuck to my guns, and obviously you saw the clip. I didn't delete it, so not quite the worst flight attendant experience I've had, but definitely one of the worst. On with the video. Let's take off to O'Hare. Unfortunately, the de-icing fluid kinda ruined the takeoff views on this morning's flight, but it'll get a little better later on. The flight today will be 1 hour and 8 minutes over to Chicago, cruising up at 28,000 feet, or 8,535 meters. We took off straight out west, so our route will take us over extreme northern West Virginia before passing over the entirety of Ohio, just north of Fort Wayne, Indiana, south of South Bend, and then turning north over Lake Michigan, where we'll be landing into O'Hare, passing right by downtown Chicago on the other side of the plane. Some things I forgot to mention about the seats on board before when I was arguing with the guy. They do have decently sized armrests, which can control the seat's fairly generous recline, while the color of the seats is a pretty bland blue and doesn't reflect United's new palette of colors. I'd say the practicality of them overshadows the boringness of the seat and the cabin. Another pro about the E170 is the spacious lavs on board, especially this one in the back. Like the rest of the cabin, it too is pretty bland and dated, but I think I'd definitely take space over spunk any day. This was quite an empty flight, and besides the delay and that extremely rude flight attendant, it was overall very enjoyable with the stunning morning winter views outside. The crew did come around with snack bags on this flight, which have since been removed in favor of normal cart service again, but let's take a look at the contents. First off, tray tables on these E-Jets are not extendable but are very large. The bag came with a few Biscoff cookies, a pack of pretzels, another hand sanitizing wipe, and a small water bottle. For a flight of this length and during COVID, not bad for a service, although a choice of beverage would have been nice for how few passengers were on board. While I do like Biscoff cookies, Stroop waffles are by far my favorite airplane snack, something United is usually known for, but they were not handed out on this flight. When it comes to entertainment on board, if the views outside aren't enough, United has their Wi-Fi network and free IFE available by clicking United Wi-Fi in settings. For this flight, Wi-Fi was $9, which can be purchased once on the homepage. Also on there is where you can find the flight map, the destination weather, which like I said before is looking cold, but nice today in northern Illinois, as well as United's movie and TV show collections. Not quite as much of a playlist as on their larger aircraft and longer routes, but still plenty in my opinion. Pittsburgh to Chicago is one of my most frequently flown routes, and I'll tell you, they do go by fast. And no difference on this one. 22 minutes left till we land.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight deck, we're starting our descent into Chicago. We've got about 20-25 minutes left of flight time left. About 130 miles to go. Weather is overcast skies with the winds from the west. Temperature 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll be arriving today at gate Charlie 4.
Well, and as the captain just said, we are already beginning our descent, which will take us into ORD's runway 28 center. And as expected, some land is finally visible below without a speck of white, unfortunately.
Anybody up for some liquid sauce?
You know, I was recently compiling all my flights together on FR24 over the past 5 or so years, and I realized this airport is my third most flown to or through. It's no surprise though with American and United having large hubs here. As far as this flight with United Express, Putting aside the elephant in the room right now, I really did enjoy it. The abundance of space everyone had from just the sheer design of the plane and the lack of passengers really provided an amazing experience in that department. Comfort also came along with that from the fact the legroom was great and the seats were not slimline. We also received a snack bag which was fantastic on a flight of this length and had the chance to browse through United's in-flight entertainment system as well as follow along on the flight map. The plane itself gets an A in my book, but unfortunately the flight is not all about that. When you step on board a flight and one of the people that are supposed to be taking care of you wants to throw you off the plane simply for videotaping, that will automatically give a very bad impression on the flight, and it's now the sole thing I remembered from this whole ordeal, over the snow and the smooth relaxing views outside. It's just a real shame, especially because this was Republic and I really enjoy flying them. I don't know, maybe that guy should transfer over to American, just a thought. They're just on the other side of the airport, over at Terminal 3. We'll be parking here at Terminal 1, the Sea Gates, where United is based at ORD.
Okay, check those that gate.
Alright, and a very warm welcome from O'Hare's United Terminal 1. As I said, we'll be switching over to American's Terminal where I'll begin my trek to Florida, which if you've been following my channel for a while, you know what I did down there and why I'm heading there. If not, you shall see. But that'll conclude this flight aboard United Express's E170 over to the Windy City from snowy Pittsburgh. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.